ERG is short for electromagnetic. No,
Gamma rays?
It's not. Radioactive gamma rays? No.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Coaches on Couches.
Bing slouches.
We're back on the couch.
Still distant.
Yep, still distancing, but it's a big couch.
Yep.
So we're back on the couch for another sprint episode. We're going to try to keep it under 15 minutes. No shout-outs, no advertisements.
It's going to be really hard. I love shout-outs.
Yeah, me too. But
Doing my best.
we're going to talk today about why we really hate erg mode.
We are not big fans.
No. I continuously have to yell at people, yell at athletes, tell them stop using it. And then you get people are doing structured workouts and they complain about something. You're like, oh, well, it's because you were using erg mode.
Yeah. Were you on erg mode? Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah. All right. So real quick, I'm Coach Dale Sanford.
I am Coach Bryant Funston. We are the co-founders of BPC Performance Coaching, where we specialize in helping time-crunched athletes optimize their busy schedules so they can maximize their athletic performance. Every BPC coach is trained in our 5 pillars coaching system that has been developed over the last 11 years now. 11 years this month.
Yeah.
Through our work with athletes of all ages and ability levels, from fresh off the couch to world championship competitors. You can find out more about BPC by going to buildpeakcompete.com, checking Facebook and YouTube at BuildPeakCompete, or all up on that Insta at BPC Performance.
Sorry, we said no advertisements, but the show just didn't flow well without the whole opening.
Yeah, man, you caught me off guard for a second there.
Whoops. All right.
Woo.
So real quick, Brian, what's erg mode?
So ERG is short for electromagnetic. No,
Gamma rays?
it's not. Radioactive gamma rays? No. It's short for ergometer. So essentially the principle behind an erg mode is if you have a structured style workout or you're wanting to peg your wattage, so this is for bike riding, if you're wanting to peg your wattage at an exact level, you can go to erg mode, and then the trainer, regardless of how fast or slow you decide you want to pedal, adjusts the resistance to keep you at that set power level.
Yeah. Power is created as a result of force and speed of your RPM. So your cadence, essentially, force and cadence. And so with erg mode on, if you want to hit 200 watts, it will manipulate, whether you slow your cadence or speed it up, it will manipulate the force you have to put out to maintain that 200 watts.
Exactly. Yep.
If you go really slow, like if you're pedaling really slow cadence, you're going to have to put out a whole lot more force
per pedal stroke. Yep. Per pedal stroke, you have to deliver more force.
Yep. And so if you pedal at a really high cadence, a lot less force per pedal stroke.
Yep. Even though that is the same wattage.
Yes. So,
sounds great in theory.
It sounds great. You can get on a bike and do your workout and not even have to think about it.
Which is problem number one.
Problem number one
that I have with it is we want you actually kind of thinking through your effort, paying attention to your effort, paying attention to perceived effort relative to the power you're putting out.
Yep.
Getting used to trying to be steady with your power production as opposed to having some electronic thing that you're not going to have out on the road adjusting for you.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact that you are not even having to think about your own effort, that's a skill. Effort regulation is a skill that
pacing,
every cyclist, triathlete needs to learn. If you want to hold steady power or just putting out an effort, you need to be able to regulate your own effort.
Yep.
And when erg mode's doing that for you, you are missing out on that big skill.
Mm-hmm. And I will say, I haven't tried a bunch of different smart trainers. So, not all erg modes are going to be created equal, and how quick your smart trainer is able to pick up that change in cadence. Because in theory, what you should be able to do is, if you want to stand, you should be able to set it in one gear the whole time. And you essentially just adjust your cadence. It feels the adjustment and either increases or decreases the resistance. So in theory, you can be in the gear you want. When you stand out of the saddle, you shouldn't have to shift. You just give it that little, kind of power up. It adjusts to that change in cadence and, locks down that flywheel a little bit more to allow you to drop your cadence like you would if you were standing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it's supposed to work. Problem number 2 that I have with this is, and a lot of athletes that we deal with, is it's very tough to stay like on top of that gear. It almost feels like you're always being drawn into a lower cadence. The tension's always remaining on those muscle groups. You're not getting those little micro recoveries. You're not allowing the muscle groups to fire and recover like we encourage people to really learn how to do out on the road. And we've had folks with, that end up, whether it's from pedaling at this lower cadence or not getting, or constantly having tension on the legs, and muscle groups that are dealing with knee style issues that are like, ugh, my knee is just like, my knees start to get achy late in a trainer ride.
Yeah. And this may be point 2B, but when you, like, what if you want to work on low cadence work? You want to do like a sweet spot or a zone 3, upper 3, 4 effort, but you want to do it at low cadence to maybe simulate climbing or something like that. What inevitably happens is once you start dropping your cadence, erg mode takes over and starts throttling you with a whole lot more force. Mm-hmm. And so it's nearly impossible to do a steady low cadence effort in like zone 3 and 4 with erg mode. I mean, I've
not had much success.
No. It drives you into the, it constantly continues, like you said, bringing you down into a lower cadence than you really want to be. Mm-hmm. Generally, what I've found is when you get below 70 RPMs in erg mode, there's like no way to stay on that gear without it constantly like
sensing as though, you're pedaling at a lower cadence. Right. I need to up that resistance a little bit.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't know what to do below 70 RPMs.
Yeah. And in theory, you should be able to do that. It should adjust. It should allow it. It should take, some they're saying milliseconds, other, a couple seconds. I've personally not had much success. If you've had success, let us know. Let us know what type of smart trainer you're on, because we'd like that input. But based on the athletes we've had.
We've had a lot of people who love erg mode for like sweet spot efforts.
And below.
Yes, sweet spot and easier. Because there's no thought process. You're staying at a normal like sweet spot cadence. So everything's pretty standard,
and longer duration.
Yeah.
So where I've had the biggest issue has been higher intensity and if there's lots of changes. So like last night during our Tour de COVID House of Pain that we were doing 40-20s. So 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. And having that number of changes in cadence and power and power ranges, and I do not find it as an effective tool.
Well, I don't think it works well for anything under a minute, really. Like any effort under a minute.
I had one athlete who was supposed to be doing 30-30s this was probably a month ago, and it would take him up to 30 right away, the erg would.
Right.
But then it was a slow transition down. So it was taking like 15 seconds to get down, and then it was taking him straight back up to, so he was actually at 30. 30-30 was a 45 or 50 almost.
Yeah.
10. I responded with, "How did you complete this workout?" That's
yeah.
And he didn't. Actually, by the end, he ended up failing. I was like, that should have torched you.
Yeah.
But if you're someone who likes erg mode, and it's not like maybe it's like a more boring zone 2 style thing where there's not a lot of changes. I mean, that would maybe be the situation.
Yeah.
Where put a movie on. It's going to make sure you're not too high, too low. But still, I've tried that before too, and like I mentioned, like my knees end up feeling kind of achy at the end.
Well, it's almost like doing anything without any variation for a long period of time is going to make you stale. Sitting in a chair, sitting in a car, when you're riding a bike, if you never move your hands around, you're going to end up with hand numbness or discomfort. It's the same thing. If you're spinning the same circles with the same effort at the same cadence for a long period of time, it's going to get stale, and it's not going to feel good.
And it's not as sport specific.
Right. And that's point number 3.
Yeah.
That is my big point number 3 is that that steadiness, even at the zone 2 efforts, is not at all what is going to happen when you get out on the road in a group ride, a race, anything like that. It's never going to happen. Even a time
trial, right? Even a time trial that's you regulating your own effort.
It can be with a tailwind. It's not going to be.
Yeah, there will end up being some variations.
Yeah. And even when you look at variability index, like how far your normalized power is from your average power for any given stretch.
Yep.
If you look at that, if you look at the graph of how that power is output, it's still going to be up and down. There's still going to be a lot of variation in that, even though that variability index is 1.0. So it just doesn't happen out on the road like erg mode will make it happen.
Yeah.
So.
And the last, what were we on? Were we on 3? 3. Point 4. Sometimes it's okay to need to drop your ranges. Mm-hmm. So if you don't have the ability to adjust what power level you want to be at, or you're getting later in an effort and you can't sustain that power, we don't want the trainer to essentially be picking your power for you all the time. Mm-hmm. So a workout where there's a chance you're going to failure, if you're in erg mode, it's keeping you at a peg number, or trying to keep you at a peg number. But if there is going to be some ramping, maybe you're feeling better than what the number is, we want you to sometimes be stepping that up. I mean, certain workouts you may be wanting to lengthen out the duration, other workouts you may be wanting to ramp. But it's good to have the ability to not throw in the towel on an interval or an effort just because you're not holding at that one exact number. Yeah. So you still get value, from that. All the time, not necessarily, but specific workouts, it's okay to have power drop off while still giving.
Right.
Or on the other side, be able to ramp.
Yeah, zones are a range for a reason, and they're a pretty significant range. If you look at what percentages of your threshold each zone is, it's a pretty significant range, and that's for a reason. So if you're doing a threshold style workout, the bottom of that zone is still viable, especially later in
adaptations are concerned.
Yeah. I mean, so when you put it in erg mode, it literally picks the dead center of that range and it tries to put you there and doesn't allow you to go above or below. Yep. So if you feel bad, you can't go below. If you feel really good, you can't do better. And so for tracking progress, that's a problem as well. So you had a good day, you hit the erg mode, it was easy. That's it was easy to you, great. Could you have pushed another 10 watts on some of those efforts? Maybe. Yeah. But who knows?
Yeah.
I mean.
Exactly.
So I think that's it.
That's our beef. That's our beef with erg.
Man, I just dislike
electro radioactive
gamma rays. Yeah.
That is our big beef. If you are in love with erg mode, let us know why.
Yeah.
We'd like to hear the other side.
Yeah, we're all ears. We may not agree with you, but we can
hear it.
We can shake hands or elbow bump or whatever you want to do these days.
Air high five.
Yeah.
With a face mask on.
Yeah.
But those are our thoughts. We are encouraging our athletes to minimize use of erg mode. Anyone dealing with knee achiness and you're doing a lot of erg mode, I'd encourage you not to do that and see if that helps at all. And if not, advertisement time. If you're in Memphis, come get a bike fit.
Yeah. All right, folks, we appreciate you hanging out, listening, watching this sprint episode. We will catch you guys next time.
Peace.
Adios.